Hi, good evening.
Hello,
We
how
are
are you?
too excited having Kelvin online. All right. Now, first of all, Kelvin, before I introduce you, I just would like to ask all my viewers out there, do you all have a fear of public speaking? Or maybe you wish that you and your children can have more confidence speaking in public? That's why today in the studio we have with us Mr. Kelvin Tan. He is the president of the Association of Training and Enrichment, and he is also the co-founder of Speech Academy Asia. He has empowered thousands and thousands of children and adults to be able to speak confidently in front of everybody, and of course to perform in front of a large group too. So on my left over here, please give it up for Mr. Kelvin Tan. Hi,
Yeah.
Kelvin.
Hello.
How have you been?
Very good. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming onto my show. And how's the circuit breaker measures been treating you? Have you been eating, sleeping?
I haven't even been wearing this jacket. Only for your show, I specially took out my jacket for you.
I guess nowadays everybody is all in pajamas, t-shirts or shorts. Yeah, so it's good. I give you a chance to dress up, you see. I have my way of doing it, saying it.
Only for you.
All right, that is so cool. Okay, now, Kelvin, I just want to ask you this question. Do you have a fear for public speaking or performing in front of a large group of people when you were young?
Of course, all of us have this problem. I think it's a very
Hmm.
common problem.
And how did you overcome it? Oops, I think Kelvin is freezing now because of his Wi-Fi, but you can see that he's freezing in a very cute frame. You freeze for a moment just now.
Sorry.
I thought, were you saying anything when you freeze?
Let me repeat.
Okay,
I need to subscribe my Singtel router better already. I need to get a high upgrade of the router.
later we'll scroll thing down. Okay, hashtag sing down. Hello, how are you doing?
24-hour hotline.
Yeah. Anyway, earlier on I was asking, you do have a fear of public speaking when you were young. So I'm just asking, how did you get over it?
Okay, I think public speaking, everyone fears public speaking.
Mm.
How I actually gotten over it is because I have a dad who forces me to go for every single competition there is, whether it be storytelling competition, singing competition, every single competition, he would just ask me to register and ask me to go through it. And because my Chinese isn't that good when I was young, I
Mhm.
have he would just register me in a Chinese storytelling competition. That's
So he
super.
will register you without asking you or without you agreeing to it. I mean, half the time you won't agree to it, right? But he will just register you and push you through it.
Maybe he knows my inner secret. I just love the attention, lah. So I say, register it. I know you like it. Once you're on the stage, you will like it. So I think it did well for me. Yeah. So
Ah.
unless you have a dad who always forces you to go on stage to present, then you become as good as Sylvia.
Ah. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, our schools are actually teaching kids to be like Sylvia, can speak so well, and then
Wow.
after that, can also earn money by speaking.
Wow, like that tonight I cannot sleep. Very too happy already, Kelvin. But anyway, as young as what age your dad started registering you for all the different kind of competition? Do you still remember?
From what I can remember, when I'm really young, when I'm in kindergarten, I really love to show off, lah. I really love to dance in front of everyone. I think the first competition was, if I'm not wrong, it should be in primary school. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it was a storytelling competition. So he asked me to
Ah,
register a primary school storytelling competition within my school itself. And I think it was because my school is a Catholic school. It's De La Salle. So
okay.
so I register for Chinese. You know why? Because if I register for English, there are a lot of people who can speak very good English in De La Salle. Or when I was secondary school, also all Catholic school, all the students all speak very well in English.
Uh-huh.
I went into the Chinese competition. Not bad. I think I got first or second. I can't really remember.
Wow, not bad, ah. Let's take a look at your. In fact, you know what? I managed to dig up some of your childhood photo. Let's take a look at your dad, okay? The one that registered you for all the competition. Ta-da! There you are. This is, of course, your dad and your mom. And can our viewers actually guess which one is Kelvin? Is it that cute little boy in red and white shirt, or is it the one in blue? Please don't tell me it's the one in purple, okay? Obviously, that one is Kelvin's father, so handsome, right? So tell me which one is you. While we're waiting for them to go and comment, like you might want to give us some hint. Which one is you?
If your guess right, I really love those Hong Kong movies when I'm young. So I usually leave very long hair just to imitate the Hong Kong, those Hong Kong movie idols.
I know, 古惑仔, right? Like 一金券, 郑伊健, like that, right? So obviously, the one that is Kelvin is ta-da, the one in blue. Look at even the way he sit, wow, very stylo one, and one hand on the table, wow, like all ready to negotiate with someone else like that, You're so cool, eh?
Fake it to make it, fake it to make it.
Okay, in fact, we have someone who already commented. Peggy Chan commented that in blue shirt. Straight away, she knows already. By any chance, you know Peggy Chan? Maybe Peggy Chan is your wife or whatever.
She's
Really?
my
I got it right?
she's my colleague.
So you see, she already know. We have a lot of people online. Andrew Chow is also online. Hi, Andrew. Say hello, Sylvia. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, good to see Kelvin tonight also. Okay, there you are. We also have CK Tom in the house. CK Tom is watching. Thank you so much. And Cassandra. Cassandra is always supporting me almost every night. Judy Hoon. Hi, Judy. And we also have Kelvin, right? Oh, sorry, David Wijaya. David Wijaya. Hi, Kelvin. You are so handsome live. I say, you better buy him coffee after the circuit breaker period,
Must be my friend.
All right. Okay. Next one is of course CK Tam. I think he gives you a thumbs up. All right. Okay. Now, I understand that after your dad registered you for all the competition, it literally forced you to be able to perform in front of a large crowd or speak in front of a large crowd confidently. Then after you just boom, like a fighter plane like that, you shot all the way up. You started being able to sing so well. You be able to talk so confidently. And also, just like what you said earlier on, you like all the guatai, right? I believe last time you also like Beyond also, right? Why is that so? Check out this photo. Ta-da! Wow. For a minute, Calvin, I can hear you singing 海闊天空 behind, 海闊天空.
We
Do
go,
you remember this photo? When was
yeah,
it?
yeah, of course, of course. This is my iconic photo.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Do you remember how old you were then?
Oh, this is much older already. I think this is maybe in my 20s already when I should be 21, 22, if I'm not wrong.
Ah. Then
Yeah,
do you actually remember where you performing for this photo or not?
of course. It's my good friend's wedding.
Really? Then do you remember what song were you singing then? Or you sing a whole series of songs?
The same song I sang for Beer Fest on Friday night also. I didn't change because my song vocabulary is just so little. So it's just those few songs.
I see, but you have really, you're very thankful to your dad because your dad actually forces you to go for all the competition. And if I'm not wrong, last time when you were young, right, there isn't any schools or anything that teaches public speaking, right? Not at all, right?
My mom never signed me for, I think, British Council. So,
Ah,
but that's also more about just speaking English properly rather than
mm,
just public speaking. So I think it's not public speaking, but how do I pronounce my English? So yeah, I learn English there. But most of I think what really matters is not so much of the Queen's English, but more
mm,
of how do you present yourself, because the audience just want to hear messages that are heartfelt. It's not so much of you having perfect English to be able to communicate. It's more of
yes.
it's more of like, I mean, you know best, Sylvia. You've been doing so many live shows. You are a professional MC, a famous MC. So you know what I meant. It's not about all your English, your vocabulary, your grammar. Yes, they are important because if you don't make sense, if you can't speak properly, nobody is going to understand you. But what's most important, I think, is whether is it heartfelt, is it you yourself, is it authentically you? Yeah.
Correct. And engaging with your audience is also very important. That's exactly like what Kelvin have said earlier on. Hey, we have someone online over here so cute. Someone commented saying Jeanette Chu connected that commented that you are Nicholas Xie Ting Feng. Just now the photo with the long hair one say you are Xie Ting
So now it's all the
Feng.
Fong. Now you know the age of the fan base, right? Your fan base who is supporting this live show now. You know
Oh
how old
no. Never
they
mind, not old. Not old. Xie Ting is still acting now, he still look like very young. He still look very young also. But the way you look at David Vijaya, he also said that, my God, you look like Nicholas. Anyone ever told you that? Anyone ever told you that anyway? Seriously. You
No,
really do.
I paid them too much, I think. I asked them to support me and I give them exactly what to write. So they know exactly what to write. They do not even have to think. I just gave them, I WhatsApp them, okay, now time to type this now in the live chat. Pop. Then came out, came out. So they are probably doing something else, probably cooking, eating dinner, and then when they look, oh, 8:45, bam, one text over. Okay, then continue.
No, like I tell you, this is the thing. All my guests that come on to Prime Time with Sylvia, they are really very successful individuals, but they are all very, very humble. I don't understand why, but maybe being humble is actually a good thing. Okay, we have another person over here, Alvina, who said great show by Sylvia and Kelvin. There you are. All right. And Elvina say, oh, love the bubbly style of host and guest engaging, useful and casual. Okay, thank you so much, Elvina. Thank you. And you know what, Kelvin? Being humble is one thing, all right? But another thing is that you are really, really very successful right now. Why is that so? Because when I invited Kelvin onto my show, I did a research on him, and I found out that he has got so many achievements that I believe that within this 1.5 hour, I won't be able to say everything. So I pick out all those that is very important one, and then not they're not important, nice one. Pick up those more prevalent one that's all over the net, and then I take it out and I show it to everybody. Shall we? All right. Let's take a look at this one. Wow, this one is very envying. It's a bit envy for me. You have been featured in Business Luminary magazine for the art of speech. Wow. What do you have got to say? Don't keep so quiet, Leh. You're very shy.
Every time a picture comes on, I don't know if my voice can be heard. Or else
Can,
if you
can, can. Don't worry. Only video cannot be heard, but voice can. Photos can.
okay, if you let me speak, I will speak for the next 3 hours then.
It's fine. We want to hear more of you rather than my voice. Nobody want to hear my voice. People want to hear you. So tell us a little bit more about this one. It's a business luminary magazine that feature you, and I think the other gentleman should be your co-founder also, right? It's all about the art of speech. Tell us a little bit more about this. Do you still remember this article, or you appeared too many until you can't remember it?
This one is a bit some time ago. This I think about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So I think
Uh-huh.
an editor asked whether we can write something about Speech Academy Asia. I say for sure, please, whatever you want to know. I think what's most important is for me, who entered into this industry, really thankful to my business partner because
Mm,
my business partner, who is Lucas, he's the one who curated this entire curriculum. He's the one who started the entire teaching shy kids how to be brave, to speak in public. So I came in at the right time. He met me and then he said, shall we rebrand this? And when I think about it, I say, yeah, this is a very important skill. In fact, this has helped me all my life. Since young till I went university, when I had to present in front of a class, I really worked hard on it. And then because I was in the Australian university, so
mm.
they really said, "Wow, an Asian student, an Asian boy, who looks like very young, and who could actually speak and present well. It's quite unfounded. It's quite uncommon." So they were quite impressed, and then because of that, I get a great grade. Like my scores were so good that they asked me, they sent me a letter to say, "Do you want to take up honors for the business?"
Wow.
That was like I was quite thankful. I think in Australia university they really open up and they emphasize a lot on presentation skills. So even
Mm,
though it was a topic on just business itself, if I'm not wrong, it could be organizational behavior or something like that. And then I
mm,
presented, and then so all along I always felt that presentation or the way you speak, the way you present yourself, the way you put across yourself, especially EQ skills. About like before we come on to this live, we were talking about emotional control, EQ, about how do we control temper. That we were sharing all the things. So
mm.
basically, for me, if you could like kind of learn and be better, not master because there's too much to learn. But if you could be better at EQ skills, if you could be better at presenting yourself, if you could be better at communicating, that will help you a lot in terms of whether in school, in your career. I mean, you know it best, right, Sylvia? And then yeah, I mean, it helped you all the way. You are a famous host now, and it's all because of how you communicate, how you present yourself. So it started off with I think Lucas. He's a very shy kid, so he managed to overcome it. He wrote a whole curriculum about it because he's an engineer. You know, engineers, they're all very process driven. So they will write step by step by step, and it's so transferable. So he's a genius. I mean, he's just a wonderful teacher. So he met
Ah.
said, "Hey, come on, Kelvin, join me." Then I said, "Oh, of course." I didn't hesitate because I know that presentation is one of the most important skill that any child or anyone should have to succeed in life.
Correct. I totally agree. Just like what Calvin said, one thing I just want to add on is that, communications is very important when you are able to speak out the other person's feelings or what the other person will actually want to tell you. So if you are able to speak it out, right, the other person will be very impressed by you. So then, well, how do you come to this stage? Is that you have got to be very eloquent, just like what Calvin is, right?
It's actually just you're absolutely right, Sylvia. But just to add on, uh, to me, I feel that speaking your mind out is just about telling people who you are. Because if you speak your mind out, people know that, oh, so this is Kelvin. Sylvia will speak in her own way she presents, and that's Sylvia. So if anyone else is like John or David, whoever, he will speak, and that is how you recognize somebody. That's authentically himself. So basically, if anyone who, because now plastic surgery is so common, you can go anywhere. Like if I really want to look like Nicholas Tse or Yi King Cheng, Chen Yiqian, or I will just plastic surgery to make my face a bit smaller. I always, this part is always I can never get rid of this.
I think when you are young, you are a very cute kid. That's why a lot of people go like this to you. That's why.
How I won my first public speaking competition. Actually, I don't even know what I spoke. Maybe I just said it. and froze.
Because very cute, ma. That's why, right?
The judge sympathetic mode and say, "Okay, Kelvin, you won." So
Which I don't think so. It's just because you are cute. Of course, you are cute and handsome, but I don't think it's just because of that. Because you know why? Let me show you something. Elvina Koo, who actually said that I met Kelvin before, and he is great. See? Not
thank
just
you.
because you are handsome, and because you are great also. And David actually said, Kelvin, you don't need plastic surgery. David is very cute. But anyway, just an announcement, a quick announcement to make. All right. Now, if you want to ask Calvin any question, right, please do me a favor. You have to like Primetime with Sylvia and comment only on Primetime with Sylvia to comment, because if it's on any other platform or on any other places, I will not be able to see it. So I have a ticker right below over here that I'm going to show it to you. All right. If you have any comments, especially questions for Calvin, and I tell you, Calvin is a very, very busy man. It's very difficult for me to get him onto the show. And you got any question for him, you've got to grab hold of the chance, comment on Primetime with Sylvia and ask him. I'll make sure that he answers the questions for you. All right? There you are. Okay, now let's check for the next thing that I would like to show to everybody. Now, you have been on to Channel News Asia. Oh my, you were on Channel News Asia, in fact, the program which is called Talking Point, as a thought leader to discuss about whether are Singapore children stressed. Do you remember this, Kelvin?
Yes, of course. This is
Ah,
one of the highlight when I first started Speech Academy. So this is
mm,
in fact a very important moment for us, especially in
mm,
terms of branding, because in order to be on Channel News Asia, you must have certain credibility. So we were
mm.
very honored. We were very privileged. They called us. They were talking about why Singapore students are very stressed. So I went in and gave my points.
Let's take a look at it one more time. There you are. All right. This is, of course, our Kelvin, co-founder of Speech Academy Asia on Channel News Asia Talking Point. All right. Now, there's another thing I'm very, very amazed about. I understand that you have your own personal single album and you're never given me a one. I want one that is signed personally by you, okay? Let's check out this article over here. Ta-da! This is actually a newspaper article all by Kelvin, and it's actually about him that he actually had his own singer. Can you tell us a little bit more about your own singer, Kelvin?
I was very fortunate. I loved to sing when I was young. So some of my music friends just got, I mean, while we were talking, we were just saying that, hey, why not just do up a singer? And I say, no lah, I'm already very old, what singer do you want me? But of course I jumped into it because having my own song, besides just doing covers all my
Mm.
life, it's a wonderful thing. So I really got to thank my music friends who just got me up and say, "Hey, Kelvin, let's do this recording. Let's do it together. Minimal budget. Do you want to do it?" And I said, "Of course." And if you want a CD, there isn't a CD now. We don't go by
Oh,
CD anymore. So Spotify or other channels, I'll share with you more. No more
no,
CD.
lah, because
Yeah.
Spotify cannot sign, ma, right? CD, I can
Now,
open up the cover.
now signature, not very worthy already. Now signature is everywhere. I rather not sign things. Every time I sign, it's like nothing check. It's like sign, it's give out money.
True, 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 true. Nowadays, really, signing is definitely either contract or check. But do you remember the title of the song that you came out with? Is it an English song, a Mandarin song, a Cantonese song, or I don't know? What's the title of the song?
I would actually love a English song, but I think the music company, the music production house at that time was saying that let's do a Chinese song. So I did
Hmm.
a Chinese track. In fact, it's very very sad. So it's really not like me, lah. I'm
Is it
like,
a slow song? Is it a slow song?
yeah, it's very slow and very sad. I'm usually the happy-go-lucky guy. People who meet me will say like I'm just very friendly and
But
things like
what's
that.
the title of the song? Can you
Uh,
review to us?
in Chinese, it's called 泽以天使.
折翼天使. Ah, really very sad. Even the title of the song is very sad. But why? I mean, what is this song written by you, or why you have such a sad song?
The lyrics is written by the music production people, by the
Mm,
person himself. The song is co-written by us. What happened is, I think it was during when I first started Speech Academy, and it's really different from working for people, because I've been working for people all my life, for the last 10 years or so, 10 plus years. When I started my own company, I thought, since my dad is a businessman, I could do it too. I didn't know it's so tough, so difficult, the support and everything, and it's just you got to know everything. It's like, we do have our own strength, but
mm,
sometimes we do not know things that's beyond us, but we need to know it, being a boss, or being a running a company. So at that time it was quite painful. So I had some family issues at that time too. So it was just right where my music production company was saying, hey, let's do a sad song. And they say that my voice sounds sad. I got a very sad tone. So they say it sounds nicer if I sing a sad song.
and you know what, Kelvin? There's someone who actually remember your song, and she had it written over here. Jeanette, thank you so much, Jeanette. 折翼天使, 对不对? Wow. And okay, I have a question over here by Paul Ng. He's saying, "Hi, Kelvin. How big a role you think being charismatic in public speaking? Question mark. How big do you think being charismatic is important?"
That's a very good question, Paul. I think basically my partner, he's the one who created the entire curriculum. Basically, he if you look at him, he's very down to earth. It's not about just being charismatic. I think, of course, we need to look groomed. That means we need to be well before a live show with Sylvia, or before a presentation. I need to make sure I shave, make sure I look clean, make sure I gel my hair up. Not like I do all this. That's just to make sure that I look well mannered and look properly groomed, especially for ladies to have a decent haircut and everything, and dress up nicely. But besides that, I think being charismatic, it's the word charismatic. It's about probably something about just in build, or something that you're born with. I don't think public speaking is something that you are born with. You got to learn it. You can learn it, and my partner learns it himself. So, or he picks up courses to learn how to do public speaking. So, as long as you're well groomed, you do know some of the hand gestures, some of the tonality of your voice, eye contact, and your facial expression. And very importantly, just remember that speaking sets you apart from anyone else. If you're Paul Ng, you're Paul Ng. The only way I can tell that you're Paul is because you speak out and you are who you are, authentically you. Just like Sylvia, I can immediately tell from far her voice and her laughter. I already know she's coming already. Sylvia is coming now.
People normally say the voice is equivalent to the size lah, so no choice. 因为我的丹田很大。
No, no. So,
Okay, now, so yeah, go ahead, Kelvin.
yeah. So basically, being charismatic is a plus point. It's good that if you have inborn skill sets, but I think being able to public speak does can be done by anyone. In fact, we have actually done a competition for the last 5 years for MOE schools to send in teams who has the shyest kids, not the most brave kids. For usually for competitions, right? You will send in like swimming competition, sports competition, you will send in your best swimmer. For like table tennis competition, you send in your best table tennis player. For chess competition, you send in your best chess player. For us, we run a public speaking school, and we run a public speaking competition, and we ask them to send us your worst, because public speaking can be for shy kids. In fact, if you have a mouth, you can speak. All the techniques can be trained. All the way you speak, as long as you're well groomed, you look presentable on stage or in front of a screen, That is what's most important. So all this can be learned. Yep.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with you. Okay, I have another question over here. Very interesting one. Jessie Chow actually asked, "How do you grab hold of your audience attention?"
In fact, there are a lot of techniques. So we have trademarked some of our techniques in our school, such as VAKAF, VAKF. V stands for visual, A stands for ask question, K key points, action, and feedback. Okay, I won't go into the details. We have neurosomatics, we have all the SLP, speech linguistic patterns. So all these are the techniques. Like, for example, how do you tell a story? How do you tell a good story? You start, and then it's a valley technique. You have to go all the way low, and then you go all the way up to the high. So there are a lot of techniques taught in school. But to be honest, these techniques are good, but how do you really want to grab your audience's attention? For me personally, as long as I know the spotlight is not on me, meaning if I'm speaking to Sylvia, I just have to answer what Sylvia wants to know, because all the audiences just want to care about what they want to know. So like Jessie Chow, thanks for your question. You want to know, how do I grab your attention? Really depends on what you really want to hear. Because if I know your context, I will be able to speak on something that you really want to hear. So if I'm able to, it's not about me, it's about you. I will be able to speak on something that you will be happy to listen to. My voice, my tonality, my facial expression, my hand gestures does matter. And those are the techniques that can be learned. But most important, you must know your audience. Even though it sounds cliche, or you can Google all those techniques, public speaking techniques on Google, and you can find out all the answers. But how I look at it is, just remember that the spotlight is not on you, it's on the audience. So what Sylvia wants to know, I just answer her. So is it about me? No, it's my audience now, right in front of me, who is asking me the question, wants to know. Being knowledgeable is very important, because you need to study what your audience wants to know. So as long as you know who your audience are, what your audience want to hear, because most people, okay lah, to be honest, secret. Most people just want to know what they want. It's not you lah. So don't think it's you. Just know that it's the audience. So the audience just want to, they only care what they want to hear and what they want to know. So as long as you put the attention away from yourself, you will be able to talk about something that they want to hear. I hope that answers your question, Jessie.
Yes, yes. I think Kelvin definitely did answer Jessie's question. That is absolutely right. You throw the attention back to the audience. That's where you will be able to grab hold of
Oh,
the audience attention.
actually,
Yeah.
Sylvia also got a lot of tips.
No,
Sylvia
no,
has
no,
been
no, no, no. You are my guest of honor, not me.
Sylvia knows so many things. I will
I have
get
another
Sylvia.
question over here, Kelvin. Cassandra Wong actually asked, any advice for the younger generations? I
I'm
think
not,
as a person who's really shy like you, don't dare to speak up. Do you have any advice for that?
I'm actually not very old, I'm in the younger generation. So any advice for myself? I got to seek advice from an older person. Jokes
I
aside,
think, yeah.
jokes aside, okay, any advice for younger generations? I think uh, this question is it really shocks me, but I mean, I'm not in a position where I can advise too much. But I think one advice is, just be confident. Confidence will help any person, whether you're young, whether you're old, do what he sets out to achieve. Because I think that's the key to life. I mean, you just want to set out what you want to achieve. For example, it could be a very small little goal, like tomorrow I want to go for a jog to lose weight because this circuit breaker, I'm eating too much. So if you want to achieve that, you must have confidence to go for a jog, because some people might be feeling that, oh, I'm too plump. I don't want to go out for a jog because I look ugly. And then what if I jog and people say on the road, say, hey, there's a plump person jogging on the road. Are you sure he's jogging or walking or things like that? So confidence is very important. Once you have the confidence, you can do whatever you set out to do. Means it's just basically I think that's my advice for the younger generation. Just remember to keep building on confidence. And confidence actually can be built by taking very small steps. It doesn't have to be a very big, like, jump into an audience of 100 people immediately. No, just a very small step, like try out a something that you never do before. And once you have you tasted a little bit of success, just a little bit, you will be able to have that confidence. And that confidence will boost you to do more.
Definitely. So I hope Kelvin answered Cassandra's question. We have one more. Elvina actually said that Kelvin, your business is fun as lots of drama, role play, system storytelling. Wish you tons of success and definitely can scale up with Prime Time with Sylvia. Oh, Elvina, you're so sweet. Thank you. There you are. Okay, now there's one question that I'm really very curious about. Okay, and I really want to ask you about it. Which is why did you start Speech Academy Asia?
Uh, Basically, Lucas, he put me in, he rocked me in, he roped me in, and say, "Come, join me." That was the worst decision I ever made.
You're just joking, right?
The bravest move I ever made. So basically, I jumped right into it. I realized that presentation is very important. I saw Lucas basically being an introvert, an engineer. He's a study smart person. He did very well. He aced his PSLE. He's top student in his whole primary school. He went to Nanyang JC. He went to National Junior College. He went to NTU studying engineering. His first time where he stood in front of a crowd of only about 40 people, he froze. He stammered. He was embarrassed. I heard the girl who was sitting right in the front row, whom he likes, run away. After that, never
Oh
talked to him at
no.
all. So he lost the love of his life just because of a public speaking stage. So he went and took up a lot of courses. I realized there will be a lot of children out there who probably will be like him, good at studying, good at doing well in math and science, which is also important, but won't be able to present themselves well. So I believe that basically, and this is only in Singapore. We have branches overseas, so we are also trying to impact children from overseas, such as in places where English is not the first language. So as we know that business communication is all in English. So if somebody born in a country where English is not the first language, they might not be able to present themselves well when they step out to work in future, and which is the most is a necessity. So we are looking to hopefully impact more students, more children, and even adults who always have this fear in Asia. And we're just very happy that a lot of parents are willing to send their kids to our school, and we have partners who are seeing the same aim and same goal as us, and opening up centers everywhere in Asia. So we are really fortunate, and I think that's how I started. It was Lucas who put me in and said, "Come, I need you. Let's do it together."
And you also have the dream whereby you wanted to inspire and teach lots and lots of children and adults out there to be able to speak confidently in a mass audience. It is of course a passion of yours and a dream of yours. That's why you started this. And I also realized that you know what, Speech Academy Asia, they have got so many not just courses, techniques of teaching children to be able to speak confidently, but you guys have a lot of outdoor events and competition also. For example, this photo I'm going to show you over here. If I'm not wrong, this is the Speak Up Kids that is done together with Singapore Press Holding SPH, right? Am I right, Kelvin?
Yes, absolutely right.
So this one is actually a competition, or is it a workshop? I have another one over here whereby, wow, you have so many supporters of the Speech Academy, of course, over here. So this is actually one of the programs, I would say, which is called Speak Up Kids.
Yes. Speak Up Kids is a competition that we have started 5 years ago, together with Singapore Press Holdings, with basically also other partners hop on. We have in the
Oh, I
first.
think Kelvin just freeze a bit again. You're still freezing. Okay, you're back. Good. Suddenly you like boom, come in front of the screen. Okay. All right, all right.
Every time in my Zoom meetings, I will always laugh at people who froze. Then I will do the exact motion that they froze, like,
The pose of it.
and then all the stuff, and everyone will laugh. Then I all joke.
Oh no, are you really freezing or you're just acting? Oh no, you freaked me out. Yeah, but earlier on you were speaking about Speak Up Kids with SPH, and then after you froze, you might want to tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay, so Speak Up Kids is a competition that we hold for primary school, for the MOE primary schools. We have been running this for the last 5 years. We are very fortunate to have partners like Singapore Press Holdings, like NTUC Club, Explorer Kids. We have Mendaki. Last year we held at Mendaki's office, the finals. Most of the years we hold it at the exhibition till COVID happens. We couldn't have a space like that to do it, but we are looking at probably an online competition sort of way, like how you're doing your hosting now, Sylvia. So maybe
Yeah.
something like that. And then this Pick Up Kids is more, it's all about giving all the MOE schools, the primary schools and secondary schools, more opportunity, a platform for them to be able to present themselves and to build up confidence. So we are looking at a lot of partners. In fact, the more partners we have, I think this year, supposedly before the COVID hits, we were planning for even Trinity College London to come in. So Trinity College London, Tampines Hub, if I'm not wrong, did suggest to us about some collaboration for this Pick Up Kids. So basically, it's all about collaborations. And the whole purpose of it, the objective is to ensure or to have a platform where more kids could actually stand on stage to present themselves and build up their confidence. It's all about, Sylvia, you know this best. It's all about having more and more such stage. Because the more stage you have, the more stage experience you have, the more platforms like this you have, the more you are able to present confidently, right? Am I right, Sylvia?
Yes, I wish that when I was younger, I have this kind of competition. But when I was younger, nobody talked about speaking confidently in front of a crowd. Everybody is all talking about becoming a lawyer, doctor, accountant, you know. So I wish I have this platform for me to start earlier as an MC. Yeah, so I think you know what, Kelvin, you guys are doing a very, very great job. And on top of it, if I'm not wrong, you guys also give awards to MOE school winners also, right? Like for example, this picture over here, we have Kelvin who is giving away a check to MOE school winners. You might want to talk a little bit more about it, Kelvin.
Yeah, this is the Speak Up Kids competition. So we will choose the winners from the MOE schools, the MOE primary schools. They will send in their teams, and then we will judge them. And we have a very radical way of judging them also. So it's a very unique and very creative way. And actually, the way we judge them gives them more confidence. Do we have time to share the details of how we judge them?
Sure, sure, sure. Is it like Simon in America Got Talent or whatever, you know? Do you school them, you know? You know, nowadays, the parents treat the kids like 宝贝, you know, you better don't school them. But is this the way you judge? No? Or you want to share with us?
We send them to BMT, Army BMT, to make sure they speak very well. If not, they got to do push-ups. No.
What's the criteria like? What's the judging criteria like?
Yeah, I think why a lot of parents are sending their kids to our school is because it's just very fun. So all the kids, whether they are shy, whether they are extroverted, they are introverted, they just love the classes. Some because of the circuit breaker, some of the parents are already asking, "My son want to come back. When your post?" I say, ask the government. No, but I think phase 2 will be opening, and I heard good news that the government might be making the phase 2 earlier than what it was stated earlier. So maybe probably in June we are looking, and hopefully we can continue the classes for our regular students. It's better for them to come back and and continue the course. So just back onto the Speak Up Kids competition. I think how we look at it is basically with the different. We were talking about how we make
The
it
judging criteria, right?
criteria. Yes. So how it goes is, I think if you were to put, instead of one person on stage to present, you put two more friends, like a buddy system. So three of them come out to present a topic that will boost a bit of a confidence for one of them. So in a team, they're not so scared. So we make that a criteria. Every team must have three students to start off. You can't have one student alone. The next criteria is our preliminaries, where we judge them in the first round, is for them to send a video of their presentation. So it's not so much of immediately jumping onto stage. Like when I was young, my dad, forces me to go on stage and just present straight away. So what we do is we have the first round being a recorded one, meaning the kids, three of them will record in front of a camera, of a phone, of a video cam, and send it to us. We will judge them. And with the same script that they have repeated times and times and times again, means they could have repeated 100 times to get it right on camera. They will present the same script when they come for the judging panel, when they are actually standing on stage where the judges are and where the audience are. So they have already practiced countless times. So after that, there is a final. So that is the semi-finals. Semi-finals, we held it either in SPH auditorium in the past, in Toa Payoh SPH main headquarters. We held it at downtown East with NTUC Club. So we just hold the semi-finals after the kids have already practiced a lot of times. They already practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. So they're not so scared. And they have two other buddies with them to present on stage. So three of them go on stage. But the bad side, if one doesn't do so well, it's all teamwork. So it also helps them with teamwork. And so and then when it comes to the finals, where we choose, it is also the same question. There are a lot of times where the judges, we have esteemed judges. In fact, we have judges from MOE schools, from SPH editors and all this. I think our judges' profile were very good. They were asking us, yeah, absolutely right. So we have judges from who are veteran broadcasters, director of MINDEF, they are assistant chief executive of National Library Board, and all this. So with these judges, in fact, they were asking me, hey, Kelvin, why not we have the final competition, the last round, the final round, an impromptu speech? Would that help?
Wow.
Yeah, I think for a competition is not to scare them, but even if they are repeating 3-4 times, it's good that they have the confidence to do up one perfect pitch. Because in future, where they have to have more speeches and more things to say, they could actually, because they have already trained in terms of the confidence and the techniques, they can actually be able to take on new scripts and new speeches. So for this competition, we stick to one question. So when you're having two other buddies with you, you have to record hundreds or tens or hundreds of times before you perfect it. You go on stage for the first time after repeating it so many times that you memorize it so well. You present one time, and after that is the finals. So we give them a lot of allowance for them to present themselves well. So it's not so much of a topic where immediately you come on stage and you present to me. So this is how we go about with the judging criteria, and also how we make it seamless for the kids to be able to present on stage. It must always be a friendly in class where they stand in front, somehow in the Asian culture in the past where we were presenting, sometimes we will hear jitters, we will hear people rumoring, that gossiping and say, this guy is really lousy on stage. That brings our confidence down. All we want is the kids to have more confidence, not to bring their confidence down. So every platform that we hold, we try to ensure that we don't rock this confidence.
Yes, yes, totally agree. And I think the way you do the judging criteria, right? You actually indirectly actually force them to practice the script again and again, again, again. And the moment when they go onto the stage, they'll suddenly realize that hey, I can do it. You know, just like what you say, a little bit of praise and it will bring up the confident level of the kids totally. So it's all about practicing non-stop and then put them on stage, give them that moment of glory for them to enjoy it, and then they will fall in love with speaking, public speaking. I would say that, right?
Is that how
Yeah.
is that how you learn also? Yeah. Do you
No,
practice
like,
or
I very teacher ever since young. I taught non-stop ever since I'm young.
no problem? Just put you on stage, you can speak.
A
You're one of
lot
the
when I'm
you're the one that Paul was saying just now. The
young.
charismatic in skill talent, so you don't even need to train. You just go on stage and you can speak.
You know what? I can talk so much until my mom gonna shut me up by saying that don't talk so much. I'm watching TV. Keep quiet. Keep quiet.
My
But
mom was
anyway, I have a very great video of Speak Up Kids, this competition that's organized by Speech Academy Asia, together with Singapore Press Holding. Let's take a look at the short video, shall we? All right, let's check it out.
And more plastic bags. Donate to us now.
I just want to get a show of hands. I just want to see whether you guys are ready. Okay.
Or track of abusive phone messages or social media comments. Thereafter, the culprits will be blocked from sending you further messages or making future comments on your social media profile.
More relaxed drinks. It's free on the App Store.
One, two, three.
Wow, there you are. That is, of course, the program Speak Up Kids that's being organized by Speech Academy Asia together with Singapore Press Holding. I can see that the kids are so happy, especially when the roar of applause that comes in, you can see that big smile on their face. Immediately, you can see the confidence level shooting up right beside them.
You must see even when those teams that lose, that lost, you know why they're so upset? Because they train so hard in it, and they really take it in their heart. No, it's like wow, I'm so sad. I didn't win, so they will practice and practice and practice more. So it's good.
Yeah, so it's a great way to actually, forces, so-called indirectly forces them to practice. Anyway, I have a question from Paul Ng. He actually asked that, how do you define public speech with and without speech?
Very good question, Paul. It really depends. Most of the speeches that we have, especially if it's a formal speech, we need a script. So we really need a script. And don't just imagine if a speaker goes up to stage for that 5 minutes or for that half an hour, it's not only that half an hour that he has to practice, he probably practiced that for weeks or months. So a script is needed if you do a formal speech. For Sylvia and myself, this sort of live interview, what she does is she just send me a question, just a couple of questions, key points, and I just look through it. And just before I come on the stage, I will just ensure that I am aligned to what the questions are. Some of the content, if I'm not so sure, I will, if Sylvia send me something and if I'm not so sure, I will just research it first. I will take some time. It could be days, it could be weeks. So it really depends on what sort of stage you will be on. If you're on a formal stage, if you really need to make a very important speech, please prepare that. Please have a script. Our school, when we teach the students, we have a script. So it really helps the students to not only improve in their presentation skills, but also improve in terms of their writing skills, meaning their grammar, their vocabulary, the adjectives, the way they write, how they spell. So basically, I think it's a more comprehensive. So it's not so much of just presentation or communications or public speaking, but it's also written. So a script is important, but really depends on what sort of stage you are on. Hope I answer your question, Paul.
Yes. Okay, we have another question over here by CK Tam. He actually asked, can train a stammer to speak normal speech?
Yes, of course. Have you heard of a day called the International Stuttering Day? It's for
Oh, I
stutterers.
didn't know. I didn't even know.
There is a day that celebrates stutterers, stammerers.
Okay.
Stutterers, they can learn. Let me give you just a quick background. I was watching this documentary on because I was doing a presentation for my I think it was my Malaysia talk, or was it my China? I did a talk in China, or was it in Malaysia? So I came across this documentary. This particular person had a stroke. So he had to go for a hemispherical, so spherical. So I don't quite understand I can't remember the term they use. So they have to cut half of the brain of the person who has a stroke just to save his life. So the part of the brain that they cut is where his speech development is, that part of the brain. So he lost that part of the brain. So the nurses and the doctors went through the whole session with him to get him recovered. So his life was saved, but he lost that speech development part of his brain. So within that first few weeks, he couldn't speak a word. He was slurrish. He was not even able to talk. And to my amaze, in the documentary, it showed that even with that part of the brain missing, the person is able to speak in proper English and proper way of communicating after 6 months. That's how, even with half of the brain gone, and that half of the brain is the part on speech development is gone, a person is still able to speak out in English or in his language a proper speech, or he could even speak up properly. So I believe there are a lot of techniques, there are a lot of ways. This is just a documentary that I saw. So this documentary is also a very I was very amazed by the documentary, and I was very impressed, and I started to study it more too. So basically, we had trainers specifically that some of the parents are asking. My son is a stammerer. My son has some special needs. We will recommend such trainers to those parents who need such trainers. Hope this answers.
Wow. Yes,
Yep.
yes. That is the thing about it is you were saying half the brain is gone, but you're still able to speak out proper sentence. So it just shows one thing. It's all about training and of course, mind over body, right? Okay, CK Tan, thank you so much. I'm sure we have answered your question. And we also understand that for Speech Academy Asia, other than Speak Up Kids with SPH Singapore Press Holding, we also have another one which is called Speak Up Sparkies. Speak It Sparkies, right? Speak It Sparkies. Yeah, that one is actually together with Times Publishing. All right. Let's take a look at a video of it to see how different it is from Speak Up Kids. Let's check it out.
oxygen level. Do your part and we can change the world tomorrow to be better than the world today.
Thank you all the parents who have supported your kids and all the kids who have won or participated in this project. Thank you.
And there you are. That is, of course, our Speak Up Kids, Speak It Sparkies, in fact, with the Times Publishing Group. Is the judging criteria the same as the other one, the Speak Up Kids? Is it the same?
This is different. So this is for not just the MOE schools. This is for anyone and everyone. But we have the same. It's one person to be on stage, but we have the same criteria whereby they can repeat themselves time and time again for more than hundreds of times to make sure they record something properly. Then they go on stage to present. So this
I
is
see.
another competition, another platform. The whole purpose of whether it be Speak It Sparkies or Speak Up Kids, I think the whole purpose and the whole what we're trying to do is having more such platforms to encourage more children and more adults to be on it, to present themselves and to better themselves in terms of public speaking, communications, and confidence.
I see. Okay. Now, Paul actually say thanks to you for answering his question earlier on. And CK Thumb actually say that great, nothing is impossible. Thanks. Now, I have another question over here by Genesis Lim. She'll just say that based on your knowledge for high function or autistic person, are they able to pick up or train to speak up in public? What is the skill set that is good for a start?
Highly autistic children, like I mentioned earlier, basically we will have to choose trainers that are specifically trained in this to teach them. There are a lot of speech therapists out there that actually teaches ADHD, highly autistic kids. It really depends. There's a certain skill set they have to go. Most of the trainers that we pick for I think the most important thing for a start, just for a very, very, very start, they have to be really patient. Because autistic kids and ADHD, they have a certain, they are still kids, but they are just different in certain ways. They're special in certain ways. And this is something that all these trained trainers will be able to teach.
There you are, Genesis. I hope Kelvin have answered your question. All right. And you know what, Kelvin? Speech Academy Asia is so awesome that I understand what I researched again, that you guys have won the Franchisor of the Year 2018 award from the Franchising and Licensing Association, FLA in short. You guys actually won the Franchisor Award of the Year. And let's check out this photo over here, whereby we have Kelvin walking up on stage and receiving the award from our Senior Minister of State, Ministry of Communications and Information, Ms. Ann Sim. Sinem, sorry, all right? And this is, of course, another photo taken together with her also. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? How do you feel about being the winner of the Franchiser of the Year 2018 and receiving the award from Miss Seaman?
We are the winner, but we've got a lot to learn. In fact, that award was just the start. Franchising is a whole new dimension on its own. In fact, we were very blessed. We had interested partners coming to us to ask us to franchise our curriculum, basically our school branding and our school processes and all. And we were very, very fortunate. In fact, there were a lot of interested parties, whether it be in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Brunei. Our latest one is in Brunei. So what we did was, I think we all are very like-minded, meaning we all share the same goal, is to really help kids in this area. To be really frank, I think this is one of the most important life skills. I mean, Sylvia, to be able to present yourself, to be able to speak is actually the most important life skill. So, and you're so good at it. So, yeah.
I see you keep praising me,
You don't need to be paiseh, you're not paiseh at all. You really paiseh. Paiseh is not in your dictionary.
Yeah, actually, you're right. In fact, my skin very thick one. I'm even more thick skin when I'm on stage.
Especially when you're in front of a screen, right? You transform into super no paiseh. Yeah, so franchising, I think, is an opportunity for us to grow and to help more kids without having a overhead cost, meaning without actually coming up with the capital, without having all the investments. So basically, this is one of the fastest way, I may say. In fact, it's not the fastest way. From this whole circuit breaker or lockdown, right? We realized that once our online curriculum is up, there are even more and more investors looking at us because it's so much more scalable. So actually the circuit breaker helped us a lot, This whole circuit breaker, besides government giving up the JSS to support the staffing, or which is to support the overheads, I think on top of it, we learned to do online trainings and curriculum and make it palatable for investors, for overseas investors, because if they can't set up a brick and mortar center over there, they can still take our online program, online teachings, and teach in their country, and that's very, very scalable. In fact, that's it's like every day now we are looking at our online capabilities, our core competencies. We are looking to improve on that. But I think more importantly, back to franchising, it really helped us to scale really fast. We are in 4 countries only within 4 years. So we started franchise maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We are already in 4 countries. We have about, I think, altogether 12 centers. So we were very fortunate. All of them are very like-minded. They share the same mission as us. They want to impact kids. They want to impact the next generation. All in their mind is, hopefully we can take this and help the third world nation, help more kids, probably give pro bono courses to people who are in need, the lower income and all this. So basically, they're all very like-minded people. They are very closely knitted. They set up our centers. They take our franchise. They set up our centers, and then in I think 2018, we had about maybe 10 centers, and I think the Franchise Licensing Association was looking for some contestants or some companies instead of the usual, like 7-Eleven. Or this always win every year one. Enough now lah. They win enough. Now leave it to newer people or younger generation like us. 7-Eleven, all these McDonald's, bread talk, all this always win one. So they give us a chance. I think the chance came very timely. It came exactly when we were building our franchise. Like I say, even though we won the Franchisor of the Year for 2018, but we are still learning. Franchise is not an easy way. It's not as easy as what people think. It's all about the processes and how do we maintain the quality of the teachers. How do we maintain in different countries the way the English is spoken? Whether in Indonesia is the English spoken similarly to the system in Singapore. So there's a lot of maintenance. There's a lot of cultural difference. There's also a lot of learnings for us. We're learning every day on franchising, and we are still learning. So I think franchise is a very fast way for us to grow and to expand. But it's also like a mountain for us to learn. So yep. So we were very fortunate. Yeah, we got the award from the Franchise Licensing Association. Yep.
Yes, and not only that, I realized that you guys actually captured the attention of our Senior Minister of State for Trade and Industry and Education, Mr. Chi Hong Tak, also, whereby he mentioned your during the dinner. Let's check out a video over here on what Mr. Chi actually spoke about Speech Academy Asia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we know that in times of crisis, there can also be opportunities. The key is how we seize those opportunities. Franchising and licensing are effective ways for brand owners to expand overseas, to tap into the region's growth, and also to diversify your revenue base. For example, Speech Academy Asia, one of the 2018 winners of the Franchisor of the Year award. Speech Academy Asia was founded in 2012 with a mission to equip children with public speaking skills, dovetailing with the Ministry of Education's efforts to develop critical soft skills. Sensing strong interest from investors and also the potential to internationalize, they seized the opportunity and ventured into franchising to grow their presence in the region. Today, the brand is present in 3 countries with a total of 9 franchises, proving that Southeast Asia presents plenty of opportunities for SMEs to find success in your internationalization journey.
There you are. Even Mr. Chi Hong Tak actually said that you guys seized, the opportunity, knowing that you're able to do the franchisee of Speech Academy Asia. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, we were very thankful. Once he said that, I think at the moment when he said our brand name, there were tears in my eyes, man. It was like, wow, we finally made it. Woohoo!
I can see that, and you can see from this photo over here, whereby you took a photo with him, you are so happy. You're like smiling from year to year. This was right. Was it this right after his speech or before his speech?
This was after.
So there you are. Okay, now there's another question that I would like to ask you, Kelvin. What's going to be your business new norms after the circuit breaker? Are you going to make any changes like everything going online, or I don't know, maybe you want to share with us?
I think I touched a little bit on that earlier. So basically, we were really. Oh, sorry. I think my aircon is not really good. It's like I'm wearing the jacket at home, which I never did. I even sprayed perfume for you, Sylvia. But today, I'm afraid that you can smell me over the screen.
You're very funny. and what? Now you're perspiring. That's why you're like, oh, my aircon not working.
Too much again. Then basically sweat. Okay. Back. Where were we?
I was speaking about your new business norms after the circuit breaker.
So the circuit breaker actually taught us 2 things. One is the online capability. We are very new in it, but we are slowly improving every week. In fact, we personally go down to do it, not send it to just a curriculum team or some teachers to just run it. We ourselves film it. We ourselves do the capability. We're thinking of even doing it in a cartoon form to make the kids more engaged. Means the content can be similar, but it could be in an infographic form whereby the kids will all be enticed to watch it, and there's a live teacher teaching, ask them to practice. And so there are so many things that we're looking at, editing of the videos of the LMS, the learning management system, editing of all this. It's really just everyday learning for us. That's number 1. Number 2, we realized that like earlier on with the capability of the LMS, I believe, like I mentioned, the scalability to overseas could be even faster than a brick and mortar business. This is just an assumption from me. But number 2 is very important. Like now, just now when I went and tapao food for my parents, right? Everyone is wearing masks, So my way of talking to somebody is always a smile first, right? Like, hello.
Yeah. Correct.
You cannot be hello. You cannot look like angry all the time, right? Like kiam pa face. Okay, right. So basically, if somebody is really wearing a mask, how do you know he's smiling? And then when you look at the person trying to take your order, right? You don't even know. You don't even know. And now over the online Zoom or all this live Facebook Live, how do we then communicate? It's a whole new area that a lot of people are not looking at. People are stuck at home. They're locked down at home. What if the kids now released after 3 months, after 2 months, they come out and they see a stranger, and then the stranger asks them something they don't even know because behind the mask, they don't know if the stranger is gonna kidnap them or gonna do anything, and the stranger's eyes might look a bit fierce, but actually he's smiling under the mask. But how would you
True,
know?
true.
So
Yes, yes.
of this COVID or of this lockdown, we believe that a lot of people they need communication skills. Just one technique that I sent to my all staff chat or all my trainers earlier, just after seeing this whole episode of when I was at the restaurant ordering my tapao, my takeaway food, I saw the person looking at me and I was ordering. I don't know whether am I saying it too fiercely, like, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this, I don't know because I can't see the
Yes,
person's
yes,
eyes.
you're right.
When I
Yeah.
know if the person is angry with me, happy with me, because her eyes looks very fierce, her eyes very big. And then she was staring at me and I was saying, oh, are you, did I offend you anyway? Because I can't see I can't see a smile. So I went immediately into my chat group, into all my trainers chat group and all staff chat group. I wrote tip of the evening. I wrote that colon because I always give tips, every time anything that happens in my life, I'll just let my teachers know, I'll let my staff know, and I just keep, anything that inspires me, I quickly want to write down before I forget. So I'll just give tips on and off. So I realized that if you can't smile over the mask, what can you do to make yourself approachable? Imagine you're going to be talking to somebody and you need to wear a mask because of social distancing. The first thing is your eyes. Yes, you can make your eyes more beautiful, but that's a bit hard, like people with like me, small eyes on a wow, that's it, man. I look like
So
cannot look like my
are you going to come up with a course whereby you teach people how to smile with their eyes? Are you going to come up with a course like this, or in terms of body language again, just like what you have said earlier on?
absolutely right. The first thing you do is just a slight wave. Imagine you're smiling or not, and you can't see, right? And your eyes, like small eyes like mine, you cannot see, right? So you just do a wave. That shows your friendliness. So all these tips are it's just going to evolve itself, are just going to be created because we still need to communicate. I mean, that's human evolution. We evolve by communicating. That's how as Neanderthals, when we were in the back old ages, where we can defeat the tiger or the lions and all the fierce animals that run faster than us, that can eat us anytime. But we talk to another human and we ask the human to, hey, stand at the left side, I stand at the right side, then we attack the lion when he's not looking, then we can cook him and eat. Or eat. So what we're saying is we are not going to stop human evolution. Communication is still going to be the main, most essential or the most important life skill. What we're going to do is with the mask or even over Zoom or over live, what do we do to encourage or to start to be also showing signs of EQ, showing signs of empathy, showing signs of emotional control, showing signs of being able to socialize. How do we do that if we are going to be forced in a high tech or in a online kind of I can't touch you now, no? Like sometimes, when I talk to you in person, I'll just, hey, Sylvia, like very friendly gesture. I can't do all those anymore. So if I can't do that, how do I look like I am sincere, I'm genuine, I'm authentically me over the Zoom? So there are a lot of things that is. So once people are in a lockdown and once we are always seeing our own family members or just our loved ones, when we go out, how do we start to communicate? And how do we ensure that communication doesn't come to a halt? Because communication is the only way we will be able to succeed or to survive. So I mean, you know that, right? So to me, it's there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of oh sorry, I ate too much from my tapao food. until I burp.
Never mind, we cannot smell, don't worry. Just like your perfume, we can't smell.
No, spray, you cannot smell. Yeah,
We can't smell
I wait
till the technology come out, we can't smell.
my hair gel also. I think they're selling lesser hair gel because I seldom gel my hair now. I do my skincare. I don't even gel my hair out. So I think this lockdown or this circuit breaker actually taught us two things. Or in fact, there's one more thing. We are very focused on our processes. That means now is a good time where we can not be always so reactive into problems on a daily basis, right? We can actually come up with processes for different departments. And this is very important for us because in order to grow, because we are human, our school is all about humans. There's no product. We don't have a product. Our product, or if you want to call it, is human product or are the people themselves. So if we are able to make processes easier for them to do their work faster, more efficient, and for them to be able to do whatever they want to do, and how do they grow with us? That is why we are. That is the third thing that we are all forming the processes for the different departments, like the curriculum team, the sales team, the accounts team, the HR team, all the teams. So basically, the first two things which we realized from the circuit breaker is we are moving towards online, but of course, offline, which is our physical classes, are also still very important. That we can't do without. But online is something that we are looking at, as well as communications cannot come to a halt. It's like, we are now just looking at our parents and talking to our parents. Of course, we can talk to our parents, but imagine a young, introverted, shy boy or shy girl who has to be talking to the teacher that he hasn't or she hasn't seen for the last 2 months. She will be very shy and dare not ask questions anymore, no? She will be like, Oh, and what's going to happen? It's going to be the new norm. And the worst is you're going to wear a mask and talk. And if you wear a mask and talk, who can tell whether you're smiling or you're happy and you're friendly, because you can't show your facial expression anymore. But a nice little wave, even though you can't see, but just imagine this and this. Hello?
Yes, or even a salute or something like that, thank you and goodbye, that kind of salute, that kind,
I'm smiling now. I'm not smiling. I'm smiling now. I'm not smiling. I'm smiling.
Cannot see. Yeah.
I'm smiling and I'm not smiling now. You can't tell the difference, over the mask. But just a little wave and just a salute, like what you said, it gives a very friendly, approachable kind of personality. And that's where people, whatever profession you are in the restaurant taking my tapao order, my takeaway order, you also need to be friendly, ma. Because I also don't know whether am I too rude to the person telling you, hey, I want
exactly.
I just want that chicken rice. I want all not the breast meat. I want the thigh. Then the person thought I'm actually very fierce, but actually I'm smiling within. Only my tone is so fierce. So, so communications cannot come to a halt. We still have to continue, and I think this is something that we believe in it a lot.
I totally agree. So in fact, I feel that, Speech Academy Asia, you guys are very, very flexible. You guys are always on the ground looking out for, how to solve some solutions, for any of the problems or needs, right? So there you are. If you want to know a little bit more about Speech Academy, their website is just right below over here. I totally agree with what Kelvin said earlier on, being able to speak confidently, be able to communicate well with another person. These are very, very important skill set in the life of your children. It's very, very important because it will really make or break their life, So try your very best to actually build up their confidence in terms of public speaking or even in terms of communication with people. So all you need to do right now is to go over there to our website. Right below over here, you can see, all right, www.speechacademyasia.com. All right, there you are. Okay, I think we have come to an end of our program. Our time are running a little bit short already. Once again, I would like to thank Kelvin, the co-founder of Speech Academy Asia, to join us on Prime Time with Sylvia. Now, Kelvin, before we go, do you have any well wishes or anything that you would like to say to our viewers out there? Especially when circuit breaker is coming to an end soon, a few more days to go.
I think everyone is used to the circuit breaker already. So basically, with the social distancing, it becomes a norm. Everybody is very used to this whole lockdown. I think everyone is getting used to this. Business-wise, revenue-wise, all this, it will come into place. Let's first make sure that everyone is safe. So I think, like everyone else, it might sound cliche, but it's very important to stay safe. And I think, Sylvia, thanks so much for organizing this. It's a pleasure and it's an honor for me to be on your program. I really appreciate this. It's a chance for us to voice out what we have and also to market the brand, and hopefully more people, more viewers look at this. I wish you all the best in your prime time talk with Sylvia. Oh, is it prime time with Sylvia, right?
Yes, prime time with Sylvia.
Yeah. And then we can go backstage and start to gossip again really. No more all the life, all the problem things already. We can talk about our past already and all the fun things. That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay. Thank you so much. In fact, I should be the one saying a very big thank you once again to the co-founder of Speech Academy Asia, Mr. Kelvin Tan, for joining me on Prime Time with Sylvia. Now, tomorrow, we're going to have another guest. Her name is Cecilia Ng, and she is a founder of Totally in Love Wedding Planning Services. She's also the founder for SG Budget Brides on social media with more than 5,000 over members. Now, she's going to come on to Prime Time with Sylvia to share a little bit more with us about the dilemmas, the predicaments that all the wedding couples are currently in when COVID-19 hits our shore. So we're going to talk a lot more about deposits being forfeited, about venue changes, about logistic nightmare if you're planning your wedding and you're not able to go ahead with it. All right. So that will be tomorrow at Prime Time with Sylvia at 8:30 p.m. sharp. All right. Meanwhile, my name is Sylvia. This is Kelvin. We'll be signing out. Good night and goodbye. See ya.